Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you're making. Copy and paste pretty faces all the time. Pictures so perfect we play.
Hello wonderful people, welcome back again to Anointed Lady TV, the home of news and politics. And we drop news every day, and we also react to every videos that comes our way. If it is your first time in this channel, you are highly welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you are returning subscribers, we appreciate you for your massive support, and we say may God richly bless you all for supporting this channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please kindly smash on the subscribe button, put on the bell so you get to know anytime we drop a new video. I have a video to present to you this very moment, and I will be watching that video with you. And after watching, let's drop our opinion constructively at the comment section, like our videos, and also share our videos if possible. Bye for now.
Members of the Executive Council of the INC present, critical stakeholders, gentlemen of the press, I welcome you to this press conference titled Obasanjo's Flight of Fantasy, a Joke Taken Too Far. After a careful watch and critical analysis of the trending short video, broadcast by GTV Africa on the 13th of December 2001, the Ijaw National Congress resolved to frown at the blatant emotional outburst, crude and rude disruption and attack by the former President Olusegun Obasanjo on the National Secretary of the INC, Engineer Warén, while addressing the job position at the forum organized by the Global Peace Foundation in collaboration with Vision Africa at the Constop Hilton Hotel, Abuja. The event was themed Inclusive Security Dialogue, Unbundling Barriers, a strategic meeting for key influencers. In the said broadcast, the former President Olusegun Obasanjo OBJ was seen tackling in an ungentlemanly and unstatesmanly manner the National Secretary of the INC, Engineer Warén, over his views on issues bordering on the age-long neglect, sufferings, and general underdevelopment of the Ijaw territory and people in and by the Nigerian state. The trending video quoted the National Secretary as inferring thus: I have listened attentively to what everybody has said. We're actually on the right track, but it is not enough. Just like one of us said here, we must make an impact. We must be able to convince the government to take some of the decisions we are making today. As for us, Ijaws, we have been treated as second-class citizens. I don't have any reservations about that. Ijaws today produce the bulk of resources from oil and gas in this country. That is the mainstay. However, the INC National Scribe had not finished expressing this position when the self-acclaimed all-knowing OBJ, without recourse to decorum and meeting procedures, interjected him, saying, "There we go again. There we go again." And then he went into a momentary fit of outburst, banging the table intermittently while making historically proven erroneous assertions that had been ingrained in his inner recesses of hate and had become the article of faith over issues concerning the Ijaws and the Niger Delta people. During Obasanjo's flight of fantasy, the National Secretary Wodu, as a proud, civilized, and well-cultured son of the Ijaw nation, maintained his calm sanity and allowed Obasanjo to finish massaging his personal ego. It was a joke taken too far by the former president. Obasanjo and his likes, who have over the years denied the Ijaw nation every opportunity to annex, own, and control our God-given resources, must be told in clear and unmistakable terms that we cannot be intimidated, hushed, or harassed into moronic silence. The former president's brazen attempt to bully the National Secretary of the INC with his unguided vociferation while Wodu was succinctly advancing the views and stance of the entire Ijaw people on their unfair treatment perpetually visited on us by successive Nigerian hegemonic and repressive government, clearly exposed another shatter of the underbelly of Obasanjo and his likes, which is replete in the bare and rebounding negatives that have continually promoted Ijaw balkanization, servitude, and subjugation unashamedly. Obasanjo's claim that as long as Nigeria is together, whatsoever is under the ground is given to all Nigerians by God, and that we are to manage it together, smacks of the wicked script of the Nigerian state against the Ijaws and their resources, which he also perpetuated during his 8 years of his 14 misadventure in power. OBJ's land use decree remains the most obnoxious and catastrophic piece of legislation designed and religiously implemented to undermine the Ijaws and other minority ethnic nationalities in this country and deny them their inalienable right to benefit from their God-given blessings. We consider his claim on resource ownership pernicious, provocative, oppressive, and wicked, just as it negates the decades-long deprivation principle, which was pegged at 100% in 1946 and remained so until Nigeria independence, where it was whimsically reduced to 50% and callously and drastically reduced to a paltry 1.3% and later a meager 13%, when oil and gas replaced cocoa, groundnut, and palm oil as the dominant economic mainstay of the country. The inequality around the oppressive derivation principle, we all know, only changed when oil and gas became the major foreign exchange earner for the Nigerian state. OBJ should also be bold enough to extend this pretentious outburst on the ownership and mindless mining of gold in Zamfara and other parts of the north, and butane in Ondo and other minerals extracted as private commercial ventures in states and communities outside the Niger Delta. Need we remind Obasanjo that while he gloss with his rapt and anemic resources for all fantasy, the debilitating environmental, human, social, and economic impasse resulting from oil and gas exploration and exploitation by the Nigerian state and their multinational collaborators are borne and suffered solely by the Ijaw and the Niger Delta people, are not shared in any way by others, including Obasanjo's community, Ota, in Ogun State. Obasanjo has not visited any oil and gas-related polluted sites across Ijaw land and the Niger Delta region to appreciate firsthand the enormity of environmental degradation and calamities suffered by the people, with attendant epidemics, health challenges, and local access to social amenities. We are not in any way surprised at the hatred of the former president for the Ijaw and the Niger Delta people, as he demonstrated a huge dose of this towards the Ijaw people when he, in a supposed democracy in 1999, ordered armed soldiers to invade an Ijaw community, Odi, in Bayelsa State. The Odi massacre, as now known in the annals of Nigerian political history, will remain unforgettable in the memories of generations of Ijaw people. We are, however, consoled that the cause of the land in 2013 vindicated and gave judgment in favor of the Odi people and ordered the federal government of Nigeria to pay the community the sum of 37.6 billion as compensation for the damages and psychological trauma caused by the executive recklessness and power drunkenness of Obasanjo, who wrought an act of inhumanity on a defenseless community. Like a leopard, he has not changed his skin of horrible thoughts about the Ijaws and the Niger Delta people, even out of office. Recent developments in the country, particularly the Petroleum Industry Act, the non-constitution of the Niger Delta Development Commission Board, non-inclusion of Ijaw terrain in the proposed NNPC Roads Rehabilitation Project, the exclusion of Ijaw for top NNPC managerial positions, and the balkanization of Ijaws into political irrelevance, etc., are lucid pointers to the deliberate ploy to hold the Ijaw and the Niger Delta people hostage and be subjected to poverty and a state of arrested development, which Obasanjo and his likes relish. The Ijaw nation, under the auspices of his umbrella socio-cultural organization, the Ijaw National Congress, held a summit in Yanagwa on the 4th of December 2021 to evaluate, to review, and introspect into the past, present, and future existential challenges and strategies of survival of the Ijaw people, and resolve not to lament anymore, but to seek and pursue self-determination through the mechanisms of peaceful engagement, diplomatic, and other non-violent means. We are convinced that the former president will have held a totally different view and also jealously guarded oil and gas resources if his Ota home town were an oil-producing community. He can only be entitled to his jaundiced opinion, which he cannot impose on the Ijaw and the Niger Delta people. He cannot rewrite history. The natural resources in the Ijaw land and the Niger Delta are owned by us, and not Obasanjo's Ota and other communities in the Nigerian state. His attack on the INC national scribe is an attack on the Ijaw nation. It is an attack on the Niger Delta people. I will condemn it in its entirety. His outburst should serve as an eye-opener to other oppressed minority entities in the construction called Nigeria on the grand resource conspiracy against us and our environment. OBJ perhaps unconsciously but loudly emptied the mindset of the Nigerian oligarchy, who cares more about how to ravage our resources to develop themselves and feel far less concerned about the pains and agony we face bearing the supposedly commonwealth. The attitude of the state during the recent Nembe spill that lasted for over a month with no credible cleanup, remediation, and compensation program in place for the victims speaks volume of the disposition of the Nigerian state when it comes to dealing with the Ijaws and other minorities in the country. We as Ijaws are rich and very rich a human and natural endowment, but poor and very poor, because opportune leaders like Obasanjo have made us beggars to what rightly belongs to us. Thankfully, we have, through our recent summit, resolved to consign this poverty narrative into oblivion. We therefore demand that Obasanjo retracts his misplaced anger and apologize to the Ijaw nation and the Niger Delta people who undeniably have been feeding him, his family, his state, and the Nigerian state over the years. Thanks for the audience. Thank you very much.